Hi everyone, Julia here, recording this December 5th, 2022, 5 days into my juice fast, almost all grape juice with 1 liter of orange juice so far, and I haven't been hungry at all, but sometimes I just want to feel like I want to just go through the motion of eating for the experience, but not for hunger, but I haven't caved. So I've been watching that the Tree of Knowledge channel that I talked about in the video yesterday, and she talks a lot about raising your vibration, and she has a good point in that if you want to really have our so-called supernatural skills like telepathy and telekinesis and being able to astral project. Trying to fix this camera. There you go. And remote viewing, all these things that are totally possible according to many, many sources. And the one source I love that speaks about those things is Tom Campbell, because he is so mainstream narrative in so many ways. So for him to say that they're possible, just gives it more credence, and just, already. You can look at our past, and you can look at some people's abilities, and know that we are way more than we're told, and that we have abilities that we've lost touch on how to use. And you can only get those abilities back if your resonance is in that proper state. And of course, you have to be fearless, first and foremost. And I was just watching one of her videos where she gives lots of tips on raising your frequency. And she gave basically the same tips that I do. The best thing to put in your body is straight from nature, mostly fruit. She recommends salt baths, what media you ingest, what people you're around, all these things, being triggered. So yeah, you really have to be mindful. And it really is true, when you get us that proper resonance, you do start manifesting everything you want. And one thing that she did leave out that most people do when it comes to manifesting is doing your shadow work and making sure your subconscious and unconscious intentions don't sabotage your conscious intentions. And so that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And then you really will, what you intend will manifest. And that's something that Sonia at the Tree of Knowledge YouTube channel and Tom Campbell both say, that all it takes is intention. Everything else is just support. Oftentimes rituals and things like that help things along because they're templates set up in the morphic field. And but really all that's needed is intention. And then you do a few other things along with that, and you're there. You have the intention, you put the action behind it, you have the emotion of how you'll feel when you achieve whatever that intention is, and you sit back and wait, and you'll get what you intended. But you can't have fear and you can't have doubt. That's another thing that James Brockhurst over at the I can't think of his YouTube channel names. The Family Flow Tribe. I'm horrible. But, yeah, James Brockhurst is always bringing up how doubt is also a big component in keeping us from manifesting what we intend. You know, when we have doubts that things aren't going to go the way we want, that's really just the same thing as worrying. So, yeah, you really have to have so much self-awareness and really check yourself before you wreck yourself on so many angles to really get it right. But then when you get it right, you'll just be amazed all the time at how everything just plays itself out. Said before, it just becomes orchestrated, and you have some intention, and then one thing will happen to push you in that direction, and something else will happen. Yeah, and just things will fold, into place that where it went and where you need them to. And just amazing stuff. It's so cool. And I think more and more of us are learning to manifest our realities, and that we are creator beings. And the reason the reality is the way it is now is because everyone's been pushed to come from that frequency of fear and scarcity and doubt. And this is what you get. But we can all make our own little realities that are as perfect as we want them. And the more of us that'll do that, the more it'll be examples for others. And yeah, just be these lights that shine for everyone, showing them what we're capable of. And everybody has their choice, and you can't force anyone to do anything or believe anything. But you can live by example, and you shouldn't believe anything. You shouldn't believe anything anyone says. You should be, as Tom Campbell always says, an open-minded skeptic. So, yeah, always question everything, but don't be closed-minded about it. And experiment. See for yourself. Be honest, and look back at all the things that you have manifested, things you really, really hoped for that did happen, or things you really, really worried about that happened, or that maybe they didn't happen, but there was a lot of turmoil in that period when you were having all that worry. Because even though what you worry about might not happen, you do create a negative feedback loop that's in that resonance, and it's not a good loop to be in. So, yeah, get that vibration at the proper resonance and start having the life you want. And if you're ready to get out of the matrix, find you an intentional community like our burgeoning one here. We'll eventually have a food forest. Several new fruit trees have been planted here. And got tons of place to plant. Eugene and Murray are already looking into doing some building of some structures, doing some construction. You can see Eugene's been putting mulch with all the old fruit and some grapevines. That's how grapevines look in the winter. It's okay. And yeah, there's our tarp made from my tent. Fell apart in my tent frame, so there's a place to have dryness. We've been getting a lot of rain. That's the teepee. With Murray's, that's awesome. Has a wood burning stove in it. And Eugene slept in it one night. There's Eugene working busy as a beaver. And yeah, all good over here. Animals for everyone. Alright everyone, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Remember to stay focused on what you want. Help others if you can. And I'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.